So the biggest story in the tag division for the month is AJ Styles and Abyss becoming tag team champions. As we mentioned, first show of the month, Don Callis books AJ and Abyss in a tag title match against the Red Shirt Security. El Leon shows up, brawls with Abyss out of the building, but then...
I hate El Leon. I take it back. Road Dogg, you get the pass. My new least favourite wrestler of all time is El Leon.
Road Dogg is bad this month as well, though.
He makes the same joke like 40 times.
Yes, he does. Every single time.
2 shows.
The worst part is he's on commentary on one show and then he's on commentary on the next show. He repeats the joke 4 times on the first show and then repeats it again on the next show.
I know. He just keeps doing it.
But AJ faces the red shirts. Chris Harris comes out. He pulls down the rope, causing Legend to fall out of the ring. Then AJ rolls up Northcutt so that your new World Tag Team Champions are AJ Styles and Abyss.
Thank God. I mean, finally, a real tag team.
Yeah, the tag team you can get behind. Honestly, if they were actual tag champs, imagine AJ and Abyss against AMW would rule.
They would have some cool tag stuff, I feel. And also, like, you know, I feel like a babyface Abyss, babyface AJ would be the best things that they're doing right now, but, you know.
No, they hate each other.
Well, they do have some banger, weird mid-card stuff, so let's go.
So February 18th, we have the debut of Johnny Fairplay's show. It's called Playing Fair with Johnny.
Yes, this is also where we get the shots of him on the daytime shows.
Yes, where he was on the early show on CBS.
Is that show early?
I'd imagine so. Otherwise, it would be a very false advertising title. They showed footage of him being powerbombed by AJ. By all accounts, that was actually a very brief segment of the overall interview. But listen, it was there.
Yeah. Well, listen, the shout-out's the shout. And it was, you know, pretty good. I thought that's a good clip to sell to the general public, too, I feel. Maybe that's why they wanted AJ to go out there and fucking staunch him with it, because they're like, well, this is going to get shown everywhere. Protect the biz. Really nail him with it.
Yeah, and promote AJ as well. That, you know, when the Fair Play clip is the one that does the rounds, it's your top future star that's the one that's doing it.
Yeah, and it looks great. So maybe that was the reason.
So Playing Fair with Johnny was meant to debut with the premiere guest of Johnny Lawler, China, and they promoted this.
It's always a good start when the first guest isn't there.
And like, this isn't just like, you know, Bound for Glory Macho Man stuff. This isn't news. They actively promoted it the week before. They announced that China would make her TNA debut as the guest on Playing Fair with Johnny, and she didn't.
China Doll.
Yeah, going by China Doll apparently at this point of her career.
Was she already doing the New Japan stuff at this point?
She would have been. That was 03, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I think that was around the similar time as the Hogan stuff.
So China's not there. By all accounts, she had multiple demands. She demanded first-class airfare, which there's like debates on whether or not they agreed to give that to her. But by all accounts, she came up with other demands.
Oh, is this true? Like, is the first class plane ticket thing like that he was going through like an actual thing?
Yeah, because Johnny Fairplay does a promo on China during the segment where he talks about how she made all these demands, including first class airfare and all this. And by all accounts, that's a shoot. They just brought that onto TV.
Were all of them shoot?
Maybe she wanted creatine and a framed picture of Triple H, is what Johnny Fairplay said.
So, somehow I don't think that one's true.
Yeah, I don't think that third one is the one. So yeah, China meant to make her debut here in 2004. She didn't. She would make her debut until 2011.
Yeah, I don't have any recollection about that, to be honest.
Her match with Kurt Angle against Jeff and Karen Jarrett.
I don't have any recollection of that.
You can look forward to that at Sacrifice 2011.
God, I'm pissed that we never made it that far into 2011.
Oh, and the Monday War TNA didn't last long enough for you to get to see China.
Grrr. The Monday Night Wars didn't continue on enough. So
yeah, he doesn't have a guest.
She would have been a pretty decent get for him.
For Johnny Fairplay?
No, for TNA.
Right. Yeah, she's a star.
I like China.
There was a pitch that they were going to do something between her and Trinity to try and make Trinity a star through China.
That would have been cool.
But yeah, she didn't show up, so moot point. So yeah, Fairplay does a promo about how she had all these demands and didn't show up. He does a promo about how Triple H has a big nose, and he has a bunch of columns in magazines, and that's about it. He promises to sue Brian Urlacher, AJ Styles, and for some reason he says Simon Diamond.
Yep.
What did Simon Diamond ever do to him?
Oh,
he chased him away the week before, but
yeah, he was mean to him that one time.
He just ran after him.
He should have been like, I'm going to sue Urlacher, AJ, Triple H, and Simon Diamond.
And China for no show on my show.
Yeah.
She's clearly weirdly okay with it. But that segment ends with AJ coming out, but then Abyss jumps him, leading into AJ Styles versus Abyss.
Yes. They do some stupid shit.
Oh, I forgot to mention my favorite part of the Fair Play segment, though. So while he's doing the interview, he's holding the microphone in his right hand, which is the arm he has in a sling because he got powerbombed by AJ and press slammed by Brian Urlacher. And he's holding it, he's doing his interview, and he's like, "Oh, that's my hurt arm," and he switches arms.
Which was a great bit in the first week too, where he interrupted an interview and was like over the top motioning with both of his arms.
Yeah.
And then when was confronted, he started going, my arm.
That's good stuff. That's good heel work. Good job, Johnny.
Yeah. Okay, I take it back. You delivered more than I remembered.
So yeah, we have Styles and Abyss. They have a real good little match.
Yeah, this was a little fun one.
Or it's Styles and Abyss. They have great chemistry. Abyss is like bumping like a madman for AJ. Which you think it's the other way around, but like Abyss is just like, I'm taking Ranas, I'm taking clotheslines over the ropes, I'm going nuts for you here, AJ.
He just has fun with it.
Yeah.
These two you can tell like wrestling each other.
Yeah, you can tell they just have that chemistry where it just clicks and it's easy for them. You can tell it's easy for them.
Yeah.
But no, you know what's not easy for them?
Having a clean finish.
Breaking a table, I would have said, but
oh, that's true.
So Jarrett comes out, he strokes AJ, then Abyss takes AJ up into a press slam, and he does like a spinning thing into a choke slam onto a table, except
it was cool as hell.
Except he chokeslammed AJ onto like the leg of the table, which means there was no give, it didn't break, and AJ just landed with a complete thud.
Yeah, looked bad. Looked good, but looked bad.
Like, he chokeslammed him so hard on the table, if you watch the legs of the table, they actually go through the ring mat.
Yeah, look, like buckled, bro. That's a weird one. I don't even know how that happened without anything actually just breaking.
Then Abyss is like, alright, I'll improvise. He goes up top, and then Jeff Jarrett, like an absolute moron. Abyss, AJ's lying on the table, perfectly fine. Abyss goes on the ropes to splash him through the table, but then Jeff Jarrett moves AJ on the table, and just as Abyss goes to dive, the table falls over, so they all just land in an unfortunate heap.
Yeah, there was a lot. At least they had some bad luck with this stuff.
Yeah, they had some bad table luck in the other show as well.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It was two matches of bad table luck.
These two men. Tables do not like AJ Styles and Abyss.
I am the table.
So follow up next show, they have what they call a TNA tables match, which is basically first to put someone through 2 tables wins.
I actually kind of like this.
Well, I always thought tables matches should be tables are legal matches as opposed to one table.
100%. I like this because it's basically a tables 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah, pretty much.
The more tables, the better when you're doing a tables match.
It's true. 1 table bump bad. Multiple table bumps good.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy how they had all these tables out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the crowd didn't feel the urge to chant for wanting tables in the match.
What?
It was very confusing for me. I was like, well, how do they know that the crowd want these tables to be used?
The crowd were willing to just wait for the tables to be used?
It blows my fucking mind.
That's a bad crowd, frankly.
Mm.
So the stipulation for this match was that the person who puts their opponent through 2 tables first becomes World Tag Team Champions, can choose a partner to be World Tag Team Champions with them, and then next week they will face off against the person who lost
with a partner of their choice
for the tag titles.
Which, okay, I like that idea, but let it be known, there's no real reward here. Either way, you're going to be wrestling for the title with the partner of your choice next week.
Well, I suppose you are a champion afterward, as opposed to being number 1 contender if you lose.
I guess you're fighting for the champion's advantage. That's all it is. Because either way, you're still getting the title match with a partner of your choice. You can win this and then just lose it the next week anyway.
Yeah, but you still get a reign, even though you're already champion. How does that work?
Yeah, no, you already have the reign. You just continue the reign.
Yeah. So the first couple table bumps in this match look good. So Abyss hit a belly-to-belly in the ropes. He did the classic where he's sitting in the ropes and he throws AJ overhead belly-to-belly through a table on the floor. That looked great.
Mm-hmm. That was gnarly.
Then Styles leveled it up 1-1 where he did a step-up Rana from a table that nearly buckled under his weight. So he stepped onto a table in the ring. Table nearly buckled, but he ran at Abyss off the apron through a table on the floor to go 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Then... table luck. So, ref bump. AJ tries to springboard splash Abyss through a table set up on the ropes. He does it once. The table does not break. He's like, fine.
I am the table.
He does it again. Table doesn't break again.
I am the table.
Then he does a third springboard splash, and finally the table breaks.
Very, very breaky, bishy.
The referee is not there to see it. Then, who else But Lex Luger returns to TNA.
Looking fly as hell, I must say.
He strolls on out, he picks AJ up, and what could generously be described as a press slam. If you watch closely, AJ just basically grabs the ropes and pulls himself off and goes through a table by himself. I've never seen a man basically press slam himself.
Listen, I don't blame AJ for doing this because you really want to control the way you're going down there more than just being thrown. And it's still the bump looked great. So
also, I think it was more a lack of trust in Lex Luger than anything else.
Yeah, but I don't blame that. Even if it was someone you trusted with everything in the world, you don't need to be Spike Dudleying yourself over it. Sorry, brother runting yourself over.
Thank you for respecting TNA canon. So Lex Luger press slams AJ from the ring over the top to a table on the floor. Referee is revived, sees AJ in the table, calls for the bell. Abyss wins the tables match and is technically tag team champion.
Why did they bump the ref? Could Lex just have thrown him through?
Well, you see, they overthought it. And they decided to do... Well, no, they had to do a ref bump so AJ could get a visual win.
Did they have to?
No, but that's what their thought process was.
Okay.
So, there was a reason for the ref bump.
Sure.
Wrestlers were shaking their heads at the return of Lex Luger, although Luger reportedly dropped his asking price from $5,000 a week to $2,500 for TNA. Wrestlers are still upset that the company is willing to spend that much money on someone who do not believe will increase pay-per-view sales. The unanimous opinion of wrestlers who were asked if their opinion would change if it came out that the company was only booking Luger to ensure that Sting would make more appearances is that Sting isn't a big enough name to justify his own payoff, let alone Luger's. They're so wrong about that.
Yeah. I mean, not so much the Luger bit, but the Sting bit.
Honestly, if you were to say we're booking Luger to get Sting, I'd still say, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Especially, my man cut his price in half.
He got paid $2,500 to walk out, press slam AJ through a table, and go home.
No, he got paid $2,500 to walk out and then AJ to throw himself off of his hands. He got paid $2,500 to pick AJ up.
Fair enough. He torture racked him afterwards, so he did two things to AJ.
Yeah, that was cool. I loved Abyss doing his taunt next to him. He was so into it. Do you think Abyss was confused that he didn't drop to his ass?
It's that's not how the move works, Lex.
He's here, I'll show you. If they hit simultaneous shock therapy and shock treatment?
Shock treatment.
Shock treatment and the regular at the same time, greatest tag team of the year.
If they did simultaneous shock treatments, I think Lex Luger would have died.
Yeah.
So AJ and Abyss are tag team champions kind of still. That's not very satisfyingly paid off at the start of March. You can look forward to that.
Oh, great. I love things not being satisfyingly paid off.